So good morning everyone. I decided to do a quick rundown on how to set up the new VTTAssets D&D Beyond integration suite to get other new users starting and to replace the old new users video on YouTube because it's always referred and it's quite dated. So let's begin. I just set up a new Foundry 0.6.0 installation. I entered the license key. I didn't do anything else. So let's agree to the license terms after reading them thoroughly. Then we need a game system. Let's install D&D 5e because that's what my thing is for. D&D 5e. Let's hit install over here and wait a bit. There we go. And then we will go to add-on modules over here and we will install the module. And if you just enter VTTA at the top, you'll see everything that I do. And let's install only the integration suite with D&D Beyond right now. So you're ready to go. You got the game system installed and the module installed. Let's create a new game world, and my game worlds are always called dev. Your mileage may vary. Let's launch the world and log in with a Game Master account. Now this is set up, but you will be noticing that I do not run Foundry from the Windows X. So if you are running it from Windows or Mac and you have in your taskbar this little tiny Foundry icon and you're not using a browser to connect to your server, you need to do an additional step. You hit escape, you say configure players, and you create an additional user. This is your DM account, and it's the second Game Master account you will be using. The first Game Master account will be automatically logged in when you start the server using your Windows X or Mac OS, whatever executional file format Mac OS has. This will be used for the application itself, and you will be using this account to connect to your Foundry Foundry server, sorry. So let's create this user and relaunch the game session. This will be, as I said, and you install probably the Game Master account from the Windows application. Then you will open up just a Chrome browser window and you connect to localhost 30,000. So this should be enough. And you will see the same server connection page. And this is rather important. You need to use a Chrome browser to connect to your Foundry server in order to make the Chrome extension run, because it doesn't run in the Windows or macOS application itself. It needs to be run in a Chrome context. So we will be using the DM account now to connect to the world, and then you're set. Then you can continue setup. Don't shut down your Windows application, macOS application, otherwise the Windows server will stop running and you'll lose your connection. So this is unfortunately how it is. Alright, I can do that now, but you don't. Then you need to always remember installing modules means I install the module, I enable the module, I configure the module. 3 easy steps. So we install the module, then we go to the cogwheel on the right. We say manage modules and we just check the checkbox here to enable the module. Step 2. Now some setup is done in the background. The window refreshes once and then you will see in the compendium sidebar the little book icon that already 3 compendia will be created for you. MyDB items, spells and monsters, and we will need those in a minute. Because now, step 3, we will configure the module. So we hit the cogwheel, go to configure settings, then to the module settings. And this is some rather new thing. If you are updating VTTA D&D Beyond integration, you need to revisit your game settings, because this format of the scene, new, and the avatar upload directory, that's what already there, has changed. You will notice this brackets data prefix, this is new. So if you are updating, you need to revisit your game settings and you need to reset your avatar upload directory. So you can do this using this little tiny button over here and just go or create a new folder. For example, here, this is a new install. This will be you will be seeing in the user data, module system worlds. Let's just create an uploads folder. And within that uploads folder, I will create now an avatar. And I will create a scenes. You can name those directories whatever you want. This is just how I like to do it. So we will be selecting the avatar directory over here. You will notice that this, zoom in a bit, I can't, don't zoom in a bit, data in brackets and then uploads avatar. Make sure this is the format that is expected. So we go here to avatar scenes, select this directory, then we are set. This is a pretty bad default value over here. It says what should happen if you import a monster or an item or a spell. Should we transfer it over into a compendium pack? Yes, of course we want that, probably. So adjust this. You can say, okay, save all entities, override existing ones. You can say save new entities only, do not override existing ones, or do not save at all. If you tend to play only within a world, that's actually how I do it. But your mileage may vary, and this can be set to your personal preference. So let's take save new entities only, override existing ones because we're starting fresh. We want to have everything updated. If you are making adjustments to your monsters after importing them and putting them into a compendium, do not select override, okay? You will be having a bad time. Now, these are the 3 compendia that were automatically created. You can select whatever compendium you choose, but do not use the ones that are coming from the D&D 5e system. These are indicated with SRD in parentheses. Use one that you are having control of. So make a shared module that provides compendiums that you can share across worlds. There's a Reddit thread how you do that. Ask on the Discord if you need a link. Or just use the ones that are created for you automatically on setup. These are world specific and are within your world, and they are safe and will not be deleted or overwritten by any update procedures. So do not use anything that comes from a module unless you own it and created it, or from a game system. Create your own, that's important. Otherwise you will lose content. Now, cleaning policy. If you import something, it lands in the world. Here you are deciding what should be happening with that imported monster, item, entity. Here you can decide what should be happening with the one that arrived at your world. Do you want to keep it? That's what I want to do. Or you can say, I want to delete monsters only because they go to a compendium. I don't need them in my world. I'm just doing an import session. Or delete imported spells, or delete all imports. Small disclaimer, this is not meaning that you will lose your scenes, which is rather new, so the wording here is a bit off. This only means that you delete imported monsters and spells. Okay, so I keep everything and we save the changes. So we got the Foundry setup complete. What we have to do now is to install the Chrome extension. And for that, we go to VTTAssets, to the assets, and to D&D Beyond. And here you can read it's not yet updated for the new features, but the installation part is pretty okay. So we go to installation on the right hand side, and we have a link here to the Chrome Web Store. And I open it in a new tab, and you can see that I already got it installed. We are currently on version 3.0.1. And it says remove from Chrome, so I got it already here. You will add to Chrome, and then it will install. It will ask for some permissions, and then it will install into your Chrome browser. And if you see that icon, you're set. Now, in order, if you are a patron, and thank you for being one, you need to do one additional step now. While you're on the web page, we need to log in with Google over here. Let's do that real quick. And then you have that kind of user menu over here. You see that I'm having a bad icon too, so don't feel bad if you have something that looks even worse. It's just automatic from some kind of nice avatar site that's free to use, and I thought those were really cute, besides my icon really sucks. So on the user menu, sorry about that, I've got some additional entries for developer and campaign, but you have this My Patron menu item, and you click it. I already connected like my Google account with my Patreon account. I'm seeing this one here. You will have a big red orange button that says connect your Patreon account. Please click it and marry both accounts, you know, because afterwards, so I can show you how it could look like. We are seeing this screen already, but I got that one over here. That's something you could see if you're not yet a Patreon, which is totally fine. You can disconnect your Patreon account if you're done. If you say, I want to clean up, I looked at it, I don't like it, uninstall everything, you can disconnect your Patreon account and I delete you on the back end. Or you can become a patron, which would be really nice. But again, it's your decision. It's, yeah, both is fine actually. Just use my tools, I'm fine with that. Okay, now step 1, we logged in the VTTAssets. Step 2, we connected our Patreon accounts. So VTTAssets knows this is your Patreon user and this is your Patreon status. Now why do we need that? We need that in the browser extension, which we are doing now. So you go to you click that little browser button icon from the extension, and then you go to options. Here you have, let's log out real quick. This will be the status that you have when you open the options for the first time. And here again, you will be logging in with Google. And what happens is, it asks the server, the VTTAssets server, hey, this Google user, is it a known patron? And then it looks into its database. And if you connected your Google account with your Patreon account, I have that info and I can provide the extension with that info. If you do not connect your accounts, the server doesn't know about you and it will say, no, you're running in basic mode. Because if it doesn't know you, chances that you're not a patron. So always connect your accounts, log in with the same Google account and you're all set. You need to do this only once. Okay, now we are logged in, we are detected as a patron. Now we can go to start actually importing stuff. So let's go to D&D Beyond and let's import first a monster. Hello Goblin. And you see it's a red Foundry. What's happening? I thought that was working. This is nonsense. I want my money back. Now you need to do one additional step over here. Go to your Foundry tab, and this is important. It must be a Foundry tab. Go to the extension and say connect to Foundry. You will see two things happening. You will see this Foundry VTT die, and within Foundry VTT in the lower left corner you can see this little VTTA icon next to the players. This wasn't there a minute ago. So if you're seeing that, you are making sure that the extension has access to a Foundry tab. If you're seeing that, that's the same. You can use these things to quickly navigate to the open tabs too. So that's an unknown feature to most. So this is quite a shortcut. So let's go to the Goblin, and it's still there. What's happening? I want my money back. You know, you reload once. And now you're successfully connected. Foundry VTT on the one end and D&D Beyond on the other. So you can see some status icons here. Connection is good, it's green, it's not yet in the compendium, it's not yet in the world, so these are yellow, and import to Foundry. And this is taking quite a long time. I don't know why, but if you're reporting scenes later on, it's way quicker if you hit import, switch to the Foundry tab. Background tabs seem to have a way lower priority than before, and it's running so slow. Just switch to the tab and it's running really fast, okay? So we are now seeing that everything is good. We've got it in the companion, we've got it in the world. And since we enabled the roll buttons in the options, enable monster rolls, we actually see those. Now we can use that to roll a con ability check with advantage because it's a super goblin. Okay, we can use shortcuts like holding shift while running a skill stealth check, and we'll roll normally. Hold Alt to roll at advantage. So monsters are working fine. Let's take something that has spells. Let's take a mage. You can see that in my compendium, my DDB spells, nothing in it. Let's check the monsters. A goblin. How cool is that? So now, when importing monsters with spells, you see this yellow spells. And over here, 16 of these monster spells are not yet imported to Foundry. And you can see all these names found in the monster stat block. Because you can see within this page, the spell info is not included. It's only a reference to a spell. And when I import the mage, I need to know what kind of spell is that. Only by the name? Yes, we can do that, but we need to have the spell imported here first. So once I import the monster, I get the names of the spells. And after importing, I look them up in this compendia. If it's empty, it has nothing to look at. So we need to import the spells first. What we can do is we mouse over these. Firebolt, light. You can see the red little cross is disappearing. It's a complete uppercase name. And let's check here. Those are now here. And you can see half of them is already there. Let's refresh that page. The spells are queried now. And it's taking so long. I don't know. I cannot speed that up, but it's a nuisance. I agree. So 10 of the monster spells are not yet imported. We're making progress. Let's import every spell he has. Oh no, let's stop right here. Come on. Let's stop right here. Now import that into Foundry. And we can see the red thingy is turning and it's taking real long. Let's switch over here. We can see the mage. Okay, we can see the import happened. Not yet, not red any longer. And let's have a look at him. You can see he has quite a lot of spells, but all these with the red X are missing. So suggestion is not here. Always make sure to have every spell. You've got a little tiny info on the Discord how to import all spells rather quick. Just use the command /help to get started in the bot, in this bot spam channel. You can add help, and then you can spell import. You have some information how you get spells rather quick into your game as a reference, so you don't need to do that every time on the monster page. Again, you will see the roll buttons, so you can cast Mage Hand now, if it was in the world. It needs to be in the active scene for that. Oh no, it doesn't need to be. Of course it doesn't need to be. Sorry. Confusing in my head. So we got a monster, we got a mage, like a spellcaster. Let's go to the, let's create a character. This is done rather different. You create a character stub within Foundry and you name it whatever you like. You can see this little B button over here. And there's instructions. I'll read them to you. No, I won't. But you can read them and you can see what you need to do. Let me help you out really quick. You go to D&D Beyond. And you go to your characters. Or into your campaign where all your characters are stored. Let's import Rest and Reast. He's a really great monk. I love to play him. And we do add this JSON over here, but let's go back one step. That was too quick. Let's copy the URL from here and let's paste it over here. You can see it's switching green. This is switching to red. And because how the import works is it's not automatic, it's not two-way, so it's only from D&D Beyond into Foundry and not vice versa. It's not automatically updating. If you need to update, you need to do the exact same steps I will be showing you manually, and it's technically not possible to do it any better right now. Let's hope for the future that we get an API that I can query, then this process will be way quicker. So what I did, and you can read that up here, now I've connected, it's red now. I can hold Alt and left click on this B button to open up this page. This looks like utter nonsense, but computer like to understand that. We select everything with Control A, copy it with Control C, and close the window again. Now we head over here to this JSON text area, and we insert it with Control V. Here we go. Reston Reese is all aboard. His inventory, his features, his spells are here, his biography, background. He once ate a wyvern and it tasted good. So this is character import. You can allow your users to do that. In order to upload the image, they will need in the configure settings, in the module, not in the core settings, open permissions control. There's one step that is upload new files. Your players will need to have that in order to upload their own avatar images, or you can do one import for them with uploading the image once as a GM, and afterwards they can update. If there's a valid image, it won't upload the image again. They are fine, then you don't need that settings. But I like to not hold the hands of my players. They are really responsible persons, and they may allow to upload their own images and files. You can do whatever you choose to. So we got monsters, we got spell imports. Spell imports, of course, are possible with, where is it? Here. You can import a spell manually. I won't recommend that because parsing HTML tags is less precise than getting it with a character import. So I recommend doing character imports for your spells. Again, you will have the information how to do that over here. Okay, let's import a scene. And let's import something from Curse of Strat. You will see here an undefined because the table of contents is not supported. The structure of the adventure will be way different within Foundry than on the web page, though I thought that wouldn't be necessary to import like all these things. But people are getting stumped out why there's a red thing and don't click any further. But if you go to the village of Barovia, so you need to go to these individual adventure pages, and then you can import everything. And this is done by going here and click import into Foundry. And again, please go to the Foundry tab and you will see stuff is happening in here. If you don't go, then it will take very, very long because of the raw massive amount of data that is transferred. You can see that the scenes are updated, and this is actually a scene that has the grid aligned already for you. You can see that this is happening because of the half star. If it's an outline star, only the basic details of the scene are detected. If it's a full star, it comes with walls and lighting. We are not there yet, but we will continue to do that. And you got the church over here. Again, grid is matching perfectly. Well, kinda. Grid is not matching perfectly. I did that yesterday night, and I need to do some adjustments, I guess. Well, there's so much stuff to do. But okay, that's all, folks. You have installed the module, you have connected your accounts, you have installed the Chrome extension, and you have logged in, and you are a Patron supporter and have unlocked the scene import functionality and the monster import functionality outside of the SRD. You have imported a monster, you have imported a spellcaster, you have imported a spell on the character, and you have imported your whole adventure module. Let's look at that real quick. You can see Curse of Strat over here on the scenes. containing those two scenes with this nifty, I love those thumbnails, I did a good job on them. You can see the monsters are over here. Those are sorted into these categories to quickly find what you're looking for if you don't want to use the search over here. You have the spells that are added from the import, from the monster import. You've got your journal entries. You've got one big fat one that contains the whole web page. And that's pretty exciting. If you have images, you can use this little button to show to players. So I've got none connected. Let's do it real quick to showcase that because I'm proud of that functionality, even if it was like really nothing spectacular. This is Soul, he's a player. And I always misclick the buttons. And let's go to this one in the background, and I connect this Soul. So, okay, here we are. And if you happen to open the journal entry again, yeah, then you can show this to players, and this one too. And they just click to get rid of those. So you got one big fat entry containing the whole adventure page. And if you are on the scene and it's distorted because of my Foundry, yes, that's actually a good idea. I will reload once to show you one thing, because if you reload your Foundry tab, the connection to Foundry is lost. You need to reconnect. Okay, this is rather important. I'm sorry that I forgot that before. So again, we are on the scene here, and we go to the journal nodes, and then you've got the village of Barovia, and you can drag and drop these individual nodes that are detected to be a description of the scene easily at the appropriate, and here I guessed appropriate things, and if you double click them, you're straight at the relevant journal entry. We've got role tables. Those are detected and imported automatically for you, and those are actually linked in the journal entries. So somewhere here we've got, instead of displaying a table, here it is, you've got the role table over here and can roll with confidence. So we got, well, 2d4 strat zombies. What a surprise. Okay, what else? I think that's it. We've got roll table, journal entries, and scenes and battle maps imported, and then you're good. If you have any questions, hit me up on Discord. I hope this little tiny video helps to get you started and addresses the most commonly questions. I hope you enjoy the new update and allow some patience, please, to get all the scenes really in great shape for you to import and enjoy. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.